Welcome to the LG Customer Support Channel. This video will demonstrate how to reverse the doors on your LG refrigerator. You may find it more convenient to have the doors of your LG refrigerator changed from the left side to the right side. Before starting, unplug your fridge or turn off the power at the circuit breaker or fuse box. Remove any food in all refrigerator and freezer compartments. These steps are necessary to prevent serious injury. First, remove the freezer door. You will need the following tools to reverse install your refrigerator door: a 13/32 socket wrench or a 10mm metric, a 1/4 inch or 7mm socket wrench, a flathead screwdriver, a 2-inch socket extension. First, gently pry off the top of the right hinge cover of your freezer door with a flathead screwdriver and set aside. Using the 10mm or 13/32 inch socket wrench, remove the 3 bolts and lift off the top hinge. Slightly lift up the freezer door and set to the side. Turn the freezer door upside down on a non-scratch surface. Loosen the screw to remove the door closer and hinge pin insert. Maintaining the same orientation, move the hinge pin insert bracket to the other side of the door and move the hinge pin. Insert into the hole on the left side of the bracket. Reverse the door closer by flipping it over. Place it on the top of the hinge pin insert bracket and tighten both down with the screw. Pry off the cover on the top left side of the freezer to uncover the screw holes. Now, remove the refrigerator door. First, use a 1/4 inch socket wrench to loosen and remove the hinge pin from the middle hinge bracket. Remove the washer underneath the middle hinge and set it to the side. At this point, the door will be loose. Lightly lift the door and remove it. Next, loosen and remove the 2 bolts and use the Phillips head screwdriver to remove the middle hinge bracket from the refrigerator housing. Set these parts to the side. Using a 1/4 inch socket wrench, loosen and remove the hinge pin from the bottom hinge. Reattach the hinge pin to the opposite side of the hinge. This is easier to do while the hinge is still attached. Using a 13/32 inch socket wrench with a 2-inch extension and screwdriver, loosen the 2 bolts and 1 screw. Then remove the bottom hinge from the right side of the housing. Remove the decorative caps on the bottom of the refrigerator housing. You will need these holes for the bottom hinge. Move the decorative bolt to the hole on the lower right side of the housing. Move the bottom hinge to the left side of the housing while keeping the same orientation. Then reattach the 2 bolts with 1 screw. The flat screw must be placed on the exterior side of the hinge. Turn the refrigerator door upside down on a non-scratch surface. Loosen the 2 screws to remove the bottom hinge pin insert bracket with the hinge pin insert. Take out the hinge pin insert and move the bracket to the other side of the door, keeping the same orientation. Place the hinge pin insert into the left side of the bracket. Tighten the hinge pin bracket to the door. With a flathead screwdriver, carefully pry off and remove the cover over the screw holes on the left side of the refrigerator housing. Remove the outer lower decorative screw from the housing at the area between the freezer and the refrigerator doors. You will need this hole for the middle hinge bracket. Flip the middle hinge bracket, the flange will now be on top, and position it on the left side of the refrigerator. Reattach with 2 bolts and a Phillips screwdriver. Pry off the top cover of the refrigerator door and place it on the opposite side of the refrigerator. Place the refrigerator door down over the pin on the bottom hinge. Place the washer between the refrigerator door and the middle hinge and reattach the hinge pin to the hinge bracket with a 1/4 inch socket wrench. The bracket has been flipped, but the hinge pin stays in the same orientation with its hexagonal end facing upward. Insert the decorative screw into the outer hole on the right side of the housing. Attach the cover on the right side. This cover is force-fitted. Place the freezer door down over the hinge pin on the middle hinge pin bracket. Place the upper hinge pin on top of the freezer door and line up the upper hinge with the holes on top of the refrigerator. Use the 3 bolts to replace the hinge. Tighten the bolts. Force-fit the top hinge cover over the top hinge. Replace the cover on the top left side of the refrigerator to the right top to cover the holes. This cover is also force-fitted. After changing the doors, make sure that the corners of the door gaskets are not folded over. For a better seal, you can apply a small amount of silicone grease on the corners of the gaskets. To see other videos about this refrigerator model, please visit our YouTube page or our website at lg.com.